Alright everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be working on this old 69 some more. Try to get something done on it. I haven't really filmed anything getting done yet, so made that video and that's pretty much all I've done. But I did make a video pulling this instrument cluster and all that out and wiring. It didn't work out too good. I had a fan running in the background. You can't even hear what I'm saying, so that didn't work out. I tried to get a mic system. I'm gonna have to get a whole nother camera and all that stuff, and it's gonna be like $600 or $700 to get all that. I ain't really got it right now. I don't really see spending $700 for a camera, but I might, in the future. But today we're gonna try to clean this cab up a little bit and clean the front cowl and the front frame rails. Because I want to try to see if I can fix that frame where the steering box is. See if I can fix where that's been broke. Probably going to go ahead and pull that passenger side door off. Get that out of the way just so I can clean in here a lot better. Not to mention I got to put a bottom in that door anyway. I'm going to have it off to do that. What I'm going to try to do is, you got to have doors to put rocker panels on. So I'm going to fix the doors first, and then I'm going to make the truck fit the doors and the doors fit the truck, if that makes sense. But I did order a new cowl. I just went on ahead and ordered a new cowl. It was like $300. It's a lot of money, but considering that I'll be able to make the cab a lot nicer, I figured it was worth the money. But this, one thing at a time with this truck, I'm just trying to make it decent. I'm not trying to restore it. It's not going to be getting restored. It's not going to be getting a super nice anything. It's just, what does it need to go down the road and not leak? That's the main thing. But, and if I can improve it, I'm going to improve it. I consider that an improvement. But let's go ahead and get this passenger side door off and get this thing kind of cleaned out. I've been needing to do that for a while. Get it cleaned out, get all the trash out of it, the big stuff, and get it out of here, pressure wash that frame, get that steering box off, and start fixing that broken part of that frame. And then hopefully, once I get all that done, we'll be maybe able to go back the other way with some stuff. That's the plan. So let's get that door off and see what happens next. Alright, so basically what we're going to do to get this door off is I'm going to put a jack under the bottom of it. Jack up on it, and I'm going to take the hinge bolts loose from the cab. And then we'll roll it back with the jack. That's the safest way to do it. Wow, there's nothing on that door. Let's get a little. That should do it. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and take the bottom ones loose first. I think that's probably the safest way to go about it. We can kind of keep a hand on it here while I take the other ones out. This is that side that's been wrecked. So it's kind of interesting to see what they use to hold this door on with. I got one fine thread bolt. Another fine thread bolt. Alright, so now it's shifted on. Now normally, I wouldn't suggest taking hinges loose from the cab. I would say take it loose from the door. But since these hinges are, since the A-pillars are screwed up and I'm going to have to fix it anyway, it's not a big deal. We're going to have to readjust everything. Something I am happy to see, they did use fine thread bolts on these top hinges. I was worried there weren't going to be any fine thread bolts. I worry it's going to be something like this, which is just a coarse thread. Alright, get that off. Now, get that off. Lean up against the wall. Now I can get a better look at that A-pillar. Looks like the A-pillar is twisted more toward the bottom. There's a dent right here. It's really hard to say what it really needs. You can see the dash. The dash has been kinked. I don't really know how much of that was from the wreck and how much of that was just from somebody with a pry bar. Because it almost looks like a pry bar was stuck in here. It's also full of silicone. It also has a nut wedged in it right there. Oh, gosh. Yeah, this A-pillar has been tweaked. Not much, it's just like maybe this far off. But it's enough. Alright, well, we got the door off. I'm gonna go ahead and clean the inside of it up. Try to get it ready to move, try to get some of this crap out of the bed. And pressure wash it. Alright, I just wanted to show this real quick. It took me maybe 10 minutes, 20 minutes maximum with these hammers. And I got a little one, I don't know where it went. But if you remember, this was all folded back. I mean, and it's rough, don't get me wrong, it is rough. But that seam is pretty much closed up. There's some dents in here still. I can't get them all out because of that back structure. But look what I pulled out of this thing. They had these nuts wedged in here. Had two of them. And I mean, I literally worked that just a little bit. And I mean, it's not perfect. There's a high spot here. There's a kink still under here. But I mean, if I was to want to DA this and just put a real fine coating of filler over this and, you know, sand that line out a little bit, I could make this almost not even noticeable. I mean, I would still have that crinkle right there because I can't get underneath it here because there's a brace that runs under the dash. But I literally got that out. And I think the A-pillar's right about here. And then it twists. Further down it goes, the further it twists. It's also pushed over. But I'm wanting to say, this is right. You know, I don't know about that kink right there, but I think if that kink was straightened, because this brace ain't kinked, it's just the sheet metal's kinked. And I think a lot of that you can see, like right there, that looks like where they had a pry bar in here trying to straighten this A-pillar. And they just pushed the dash instead of the A-pillar. That's my theory. And you can see the hammer, the big hammer marks along this edge here, where they were beating the, you know what, out of that A-pillar trying to get it. I'm sitting here and I was thinking, I kind of had an idea. If I made something that would fit around this A-pillar, like right there, like almost like a wrench or something, and have it come out to here, I could probably twist this with the tractor, just gently, just slightly pull on it, and I believe that'd bring that A-pillar back. plus hook something to the bottom here and pull it from the bottom too, because I'm going to be replacing this right about here down. I bought the extended ones of these that have the hinge bolts already in it, so I'm probably going to be replacing it however high up it can go with that new patch down, and that'll kind of straighten that A-pillar out. Plus putting new floor pans in, putting new rockers, putting new inner rocker and all that, so that'll kind of put everything back where it needs to go. I'm also going to be replacing the cab brace under here because it's folded up pretty bad. So if I get all this stuff kind of straightened up, the A-pillar is going to kind of line itself back, to what's there, and I think it'll be pretty straight. But you can see there's a little bit of a curve to that. It's supposed to be straight, and it's got a curve in. It does this and then that. So like right in here, this has been warped a little bit. I don't think it's enough to matter. The main thing is get the doors and the fenders to line back up again, which I'm not going to be able to know that for sure. But I think if I get everything to the patch panels, it'll be as good as it's going to be. It'll be better than this anyway, with those stupid bolts and crap. I haven't checked the bottom hinge, but I'm looking at it right now, and it looks like it might be bent. If this is the original door hinge off this truck, and it very well could be. I don't know. Maybe not. It's hard to tell, honestly. It's got a little bit of a bend in it. I can't tell if that's bad though. I did get new bushings for the driver's side to rebuild these hinges. These feel okay. This one's got a little bit of play. This one here's so tight I can't even move it. So maybe that's a replacement hinge. Hopefully it is. But when you can see, I don't even know what this is, but it's loose. But you can kind of see that piece of steel they had holding the bottom of the fender on. And there's what's left of the original cab brace. But you can see that cab brace has been smashed. It's not rusty, it's just smashed. Smashed in. There's holes in it. And I don't know if I can get that back straight. I'm not even going to attempt it. I'm just going to replace it. It wasn't but like $20 for that piece. I'd rather replace that and know it's at least close to the factory. And then this has got that big dent right here. I'm hoping the patch comes on up to here, but I don't think it does. I think it only comes to here. So I will have to do a little bit of work to that, pulling it out and stuff. Yeah, the A-pillar is tweaked to right about here. Right about below this hinge it starts. And then it just gradually increases until it gets down to here, then it straightens back out. I guess that's where they worked it, trying to make the door shut right, But I think I can get it back. I did some measuring. It's about an inch off between the 72 out here and this one. It's an inch from the bottom of the kick panel. Of course, I can't really get an accurate measurement because this thing's all over the place and it's got dents. But from what I could measure, it's an inch difference. So this has been shoved in an inch. An inch is a lot, but it's not really if you think about it, because there's not a lot here. It's just sheet metal bent into a C shape that's been capped. But I think that's pretty neat that I was able to get that most of the way out. It needs a little bit more work. I need to get in behind it with the actual hammer and dolly and work some of those dents out. But I think, considering, it's pretty good. Look at the absolute crap that I pulled out of this inner cow vent. And there's still a lot more in there to go. It was up level to the top. Like where those rust holes are, that was all leaves, every bit of it. That's why it's eat up. Alright, I'm getting ready to pull this windshield out. And the best way to do that is just with a regular knife. Basically, you just want to cut right along the rubber here, and then you can tear it and it'll come right out. Bent my trim up. Man, I couldn't get it off the bottom. It was glued. Glued in there good too. Dang. Oh. Man, that was rough. Bent my trim up. I fought with this. Now that was rough. But fortunately, it appears as if all the metal's good. That's great. It's real great. Oh. Gosh. Took a lot out of me. Yeah, all that metal's good. I was worried about this spot right here being rusted through, but it's not. And then all this down here. For some reason that's 100 grain. I'm just wondering, was the top of the dash 100 grain? I can't really tell. It's like there might have been a little 100 grain around that vent hole, so it could have very well been 100 grain. It's kind of cool. But I'm glad I have that off now. Now whenever I pressure wash it, I can get it all clean, hopefully, around that. I was already going to put a windshield in it because that windshield is hazed really, really bad. And it'll also help whenever I do the white top. You know, I won't have to, I can treat this, you know. I won't be worrying about rust being in it. But, oh, that was rough. Little update on the inside of the truck. I took the gas tank out. Brand new gas tank. There it is over there behind the windshield. It's brand new. Like no rust, no nothing. So it had a brand new tank put in it at one time. That's good. I did peel that metal off the floor. There it is. I think that's a piece of a screen door. I'm pretty sure it's the aluminum off of a screen door. There's the floor rust. I've got new floor pans, so I'm not worried about that. The that side over there, I was trying to get that metal up, but that metal has been there for a long time. They did a really good job putting that stuff in. It is there, so that's gonna have to come out with a grinder whenever I start working on that side. Main reason I did this, I just wanted to pressure wash it, clean it up real good in here. Have nothing hiding, nothing to make a mess. So I think that's pretty good. I think that's pretty much it since I last filmed anything. Other than, of course, the windshield, which you just saw. But, alright. Alright, so it's the next day. Let's see. Didn't really get anything else accomplished last night. Whenever I quit for the night. Of course, we got the windshield out yesterday. I did take the wiper arms, or the wiper, whatever those things are called. Took those off and took the arm off the windshield wiper motor in here. And I'm about to bring y'all in and show y'all something. And I don't really know what's happened here, but there's some pretty heavy rust right around that windshield wiper motor. And I think I know what it is, but it's kind of interesting just to see. I'll show y'all real quick. Alright, you can see it right there. It looked like they took roofing tar and smeared it around that wiper motor brace. See that right down there? That's a crack. That whole thing has broke out. There's a steel ring in here that's tack welded to this piece here, and then the pump bolts from inside the cab to it. So these bolts here are holding that entire piece in the truck right now. It's not really a big deal if I don't get that back quite right, but I'm probably going to end up having to cut that whole thing out and replace it with a piece of metal. But you know, this cow, we got some pretty serious rust, which is why I feel the need to replace it. It's all rotted out down here, and then of course this piece, this inner piece that's actually inside the cab is this, where these holes here are. That's that. So I'm about to do some fabrication work pretty much on this whole front lip on this thing. And you know, this ain't nothing. This wouldn't have even mattered. But that right there, that's the important stuff right in here. So that's the reason I'm doing this, the reason I'm going to change this cowl out. We do have some rust right here on this corner. I didn't see this last night, but this is swelled up right here. I mean, it's not bad, it's not through, but it is, you know, it's going to have to be fixed. At least smash that out, fill it full of something to where it doesn't get any worse, where water don't get to it. And whenever we paint it, I'm going to be painting this whole thing here. Probably, I think I'm going to black this whole thing out. Just paint it all black, firewall, everything. Just paint it black with some good enamel paint. Probably just oil-based paint, nothing special. Just something to get a good sealer on it all so it doesn't get any worse. And then I'll probably put a bead of something in here, either seam seal or some kind of a, you know, glue of some sort, just so that doesn't get any worse in here. And I'm probably going to pour this full whenever I put the new one on. Pour it full of paint, just pour paint all along this edge, just so, you know, water doesn't creep back under there and cause it to happen again. They do make grates that you can put up here, like a screen. It'll keep that from happening again. So I do have a set of those on that 72 out there, and I'm going to get a set put on this one. They should have come from the factory with that, but they didn't. But I mean, there's even rust right there. There's a hole. But I've been cleaning the inside of the cab out. I did take the seat belts out. Got those out of the way. I think I showed that I got the gas tank out last night. I can't remember. I didn't say nothing about the seat belts though. But getting ready to pull that wiper motor out right there, get that out of the way. Want just one less thing to be in the way when I'm doing that firewall, fixing the rust and putting the sound deadener in. But I also took the dash pad off. Dash pad's in pretty bad shape. I got a good black one. I got one at the car show last time I went, so I'll put that on it whenever it's done. Now I'm thinking this dash was green, dark green. The top of it was, and they never did really get any paint in there. So what I think I'm gonna do is just mask the top of this dash off and prime it and paint it green. Paint it that hunter green, kind of like the steering column was, just to, you know, preserve that down in there a little bit better, kill that rust, you know, to where it doesn't, you know, get any worse. But there's a little bit of rust up here I was noticing right in there. It's not eat through, I don't think, but it's close. But all this will be getting white. You know, I'll be painting all this white. So none of that really matters. If it is rusty or not, I can clean it up the best I can. You know, I'm probably going to put a urethane primer on the top at least. And then whatever I do to the rocker panels. If I don't end up changing the bed, I think I might end up doing the rocker panels white. And then just do the bottoms of the bed and the bottoms of the doors below the trim and below the front fender trim white. You know, it wouldn't look too great, but it wouldn't look too terrible either. And then that'll save me money. I won't have to buy car paint to match this. And part of me wishes this truck wasn't painted this color, because I like this color. I think it looks really good on this truck. It makes the truck stand out. You know, it's just something about that green. I like that green. But unfortunately, I've run out of time this week. I wasn't able to get it out and get that front frame pressure washed. Had to work a 50-hour week, so 2 days off. Just couldn't get out here and get anything accomplished like I want to. So that's how it goes sometimes. But didn't really get a whole lot accomplished this week. But I think I'm probably going to go ahead and call this video here just so I can get it posted today. Thank you all very much for watching and commenting, and, you know, everything helps. You know, I haven't been making YouTube videos for a pretty long while, and everything's just kind of dead. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all on the next one. Bye-bye.